math group, so we're going to keep going with math lessons starting today. We will be on lesson 12.3 in your Go Math book. So please open to page 453. And this lesson's name is Customary Units of Weight. Our essential question, how can you use models to compare customary units of weight? So customary units are those units that we use in the United States. Unlock the problem. So ounces and pounds are customary units of weight. How does the size of a pound compare to the size of an ounce? So for your activity, it asks you to have 2 different colored pencils. If you don't have colored pencils, you can use a different coloring utensil, or you could just use a pencil and you could shade dark and shade light. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the book and do that activity together. So for our activity, you can see that there's a number line, and the number line shows the relationship between pounds and ounces. So step 1 says to use a color pencil to shade 1 pound on the number line. So I'm going to use green, and you can see pounds is on the top of the number line. So they want us to shade 1 pound. So all the way across to get a good visual of 1 pound. Step 2 says to use a different color pencil to shade 1 ounce on the number line. So 1 ounce is down below on the number line. So I'm going to use the reddish color to show 1 ounce. Step 3 wants us to compare the size of 1 pound to the size of 1 ounce. So go ahead and look at the number line. And we're going to go ahead and fill in the blanks, and I'm going to give you a little time to do that. So you need how many ounces to make 1 pound is the question we're answering. So go ahead and look at the number line. How many ounces to make 1 pound? 16. So 1 pound is how many times as heavy as 1 ounce? 1 pound, how many times as heavy as 1 ounce? Go ahead and fill in the blank. So 1 pound is 16 times as heavy as 1 ounce. So you don't need to write this down, but I just want you to think about it. Explain how the number line helped you to compare the sizes of the units. So having that number line, what does that do for you? I know we talk about this a lot. It just kind of gives us a nice visual of the difference between the two. You can see here's your ounce and here's your pound. So I think number lines are great visuals. All right, go ahead and turn to page 454. So here's another example. We're going to be comparing measures. Nancy needs 5 pounds of flour to bake pies for a festival. She has 90 ounces of flour. How can she determine if she has enough flour to bake the pies? Well, this gets a little tricky because we're trying to compare pounds to ounces. So in my head, I'm saying to myself, I'd really rather compare ounces to ounces. So step 1 asks us to make a table that relates pounds and ounces. So over here, we're going to do the think section first. So if 1 pound times 16 is 16 ounces, 2 pounds times 16 would be how many ounces? 3 pounds times 16 would be how many ounces? 4 pounds times 16, and 5 pounds times 16. So go ahead and do that work, please. I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. All right, so 2 pounds times 16 is 32 ounces. 3 pounds times 16, 48 ounces. 4 pounds times 16, 64 ounces. And 5 pounds times 16, 80 ounces. So then they want us to transfer that to the table. So 1 pound, 16 ounces, 2 pounds, 32 ounces, 3 pounds, 48 ounces, 4 pounds, 64 ounces, and 5 pounds, 80 ounces. Bingo! So now we've got ounces to compare to ounces. So step 2 wants us to compare 90 ounces and 5 pounds. So 90 ounces, we're going to write each measure in ounces and then compare using a symbol. So we can leave 90 ounces, 90 ounces. But now 5 pounds we want to convert to ounces. So go ahead and look at your table. 5 pounds equals how many ounces? 80 ounces. So now in the circle, I want you to do the correct comparison sign. So you know 90 ounces is bigger than 80 ounces. So Nancy has 90 ounces of flour and she needs 5 pounds. She needs 80. If she has 90 and she needs 80, 90 ounces is more than 5 pounds. So Nancy, if she has 90 ounces and she needs 80, has enough flour to make the pies. Let's go ahead and move down to the try this. So now we're going to talk about the fact that there are 2,000 pounds in 1 ton. So we're going to finish making the table that relates tons and pounds. They started it for us. 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. You finish it. 2 tons, how many pounds? 3 tons, how many pounds? So go ahead and fill that in. So 1 ton, 2,000 pounds, 2 tons, 4,000 pounds, 3 tons, 6,000 pounds. Now we can go ahead and fill in the blank. 1 ton is how many times as heavy as 1 pound? 1 ton, how many times as heavy as 1 pound? 2,000 times as heavy as 1 pound. All right, let's go ahead and look at 455, share and show. So they give us this handy dandy customary units of weight table. So we've got the 1 pound, which is 16 ounces, which we saw with the number line, and the table. And then we have the 1 ton, which is 2,000 pounds, which we saw on the table on the previous page. So in number 1, they want us to figure out how many pounds are 4 tons. So if 1 ton is 2,000 pounds, how many are 4? Go ahead and fill in the blank. Think. 4 tons times 2,000 pounds equals 8,000. So 4 tons equals 8,000 pounds. Number 2, 5 tons equals how many pounds? If 1 ton is 2,000 pounds, how many is 5? Go ahead and fill in the blank. So 5 tons equals 10,000 pounds. 6 pounds equals how many ounces? So 1 pound is 16 ounces. How much would 6 pounds be? So over here, I would do 16 times 6. Go ahead and do that work. Six times 6 is 36. Put your 6, regroup your 3. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So 6 pounds is 96 ounces. So on your own, just go ahead and do 4, 5, 6, and 7 on your own. And then for homework, we're doing the evens. And the workbook page is 225. Lesson 12.3, customary units of weight. And we're doing the evens. Front and back. And then, as I always like you to do, Blue Group, let's do all the spiral review. And you can just go ahead and leave it in your workbook for now. Thank you.